Ugh. Can't eat that. Oh my god. I'm surrounded by food. Too much food, dare I say. Good evening, guys. How you doing? Welcome to the Abroad Japan live show. Long time no see. Unless, of course, you tuned in to the massive 9-day cycle across Kyushu, in which case, good to see you again. It's been 5 or 6 days. I finally regained the power of my legs. Actually, no, it's still pretty painful. My legs are still sore 6 days later. Isn't that shocking? I haven't spoken to Connor in the last few days, but hopefully Connor's legs are better than mine. But it's the price you pay for cycling 9 kilometres. 9 kilometres, 900 kilometres. Anyway, guys, good to see you. Let me know where you're watching from tonight. As I said, I'm surrounded by food. Check this out. This is fake yakitori. I wanted to show a little bit of a contrast between good and bad. So this is plastic food, right? Plastic, horrible, disgusting food. And this is the real deal. Nice, oily, greasy, delicious yakitori. It's been a while since I had some nice food on stream. Like I did one with Ryotaro a few weeks ago, which you might recall. And Ryotaro was a moron. He said, "I know, mate, let's put it to a vote. Let's let the people decide." And so I reluctantly let you guys choose what I had for lunch. And Ryotaro was like, "Oh, put pasta on the list. Put cheap shit pasta on the list." And that's what we ate. It was awful. So today, luckily, we do have yakitori that's good. And luckily, Ryotaro's not here as well. That's always a very big bonus, isn't it? Where are you watching from? Chile, Michigan, Germany as always, UK. The plastic food looks better. The plastic food looks better, says Georgie, than the real one. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, honestly, this looks. I mean, look at that. Does that look like food? No, it doesn't. This is supposed to be liver. This is supposed to be chicken skin, kawa. This is supposed to be negima, like the one everyone loves, where it's a bit of chicken with green onion. This is supposed to be the same as that one. This is meatball, tsukune. This is a nice one, and this one is. Fuck no, this is kawa. This is also skin. What have we got in the real box of food, though? Let's take a look at the real box. Welcome back to the real box of food with Abroad Japan. And we have in here, we've got negima. There you go, negima. It's going for a close-up there of the negima. So we've got negima. We've got. Well, let's just open it. Why is there so much fucking food here? I don't know why I ordered like 3 trays of this stuff. Okay, check this out. So we've got tsukune, chicken meatball. We've got negima. We've got grease all over my fingers now because it's incredibly greasy. This one I'm very excited about. This is butabara, literally braised pork. Very good. And then we've got pepper and liver over there, which I don't think I'll be eating. How are you guys doing? What's going down? Chug it down, Chris. I will. Don't you worry. This is a nightmare. Don't eat on stream, ever. Especially chewy pork. But tonight, guys, for the next hour or so, I'm yours to interrogate, intimidate, whatever you want to do. There's echo on your mic, in case you don't know. Is there really? How's that possible? Looking fitter, mate. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, the cycle did do wonders for my physical fitness. I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling pretty fit at the moment. Last year, I set the target right of being the fittest I've ever been, like in my life, and I don't think I hit it at the end of the year, but I think I've hit it now after the cycle, and I'm about to derail that because not only am I going to eat all of the chicken ever in Sendai, but I'm going to drink some sake. As I do it, you know the drill. You can't have a live show without having a little bit of sake thrown in. And I've got a great big box here. And I've got to make sure I don't have my address on it because I don't want to dox myself, even though I'm going to be moving soon anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe doxing myself doesn't matter too much now. Oh my god, I've run out of space. This is excessive. Look at that, fragile. Oh, there we go. We'll tuck into this in a minute. Chris, you're looking more like a Bond villain day after day. That is what I aspire to do. I do want to look like a Bond villain. I do love... My wardrobe is essentially just black T-shirts and jumpers. And it's always going to be that way. I'm not changing my clothing for anyone. Your calves are twice as thick as a cow's, says Akumara. Thank you very much. I don't know if that's a compliment or a thinly veiled insult, but I'm going to take it as the former. Chris, you're going to get the same old questions you get every live stream. I don't know. I'm just going to not answer the same questions I ask, or the same questions I answer every live stream. Don't you worry. April Fools, Chris. Oh, April Fools. Yeah, I think a lot of people thought the whole moving to Tokyo thing was some sort of elaborate April Fool's joke. It's not. I'm not. If I was going to do April Fools, it would be a lot better than that. Like, pushing Ryotaro down the stairs or throwing Natsuki into a pile of spaghetti. I should have done that. But no, there is no April Fools, unfortunately. This is the real deal. I am moving to Tokyo, which we'll be getting into in a little bit. Talking about why, talking about how I feel about that, given that I have lived in Japan for 10 years now, 11 years soon, and all of that has been in the north, in Tohoku, up here, right, in Sendai or Yamagata, and I love it up here, and I never thought I would move to Tokyo. It was never part of the plan. But plans change. The game has changed, and I've got to do it. I've got to move to Tokyo. But first, let's have some sake. So this video, or live stream, I've been sent an excessive box of sake, as you can see, from the guys at Tippsy Sake. You might remember last year when I did a live show, Tippsy Sake sent me a box of sake. They enjoyed watching me get drunk on a show, and so they've done it again. So thank you, Tippsy Sake, for sponsoring the stream and sending some wonderful sake from Miyagi, of all places, where I am now, and I think Akita as well. So there you go. If you want to get some sake yourself, guys, you can find it in the description box below. The code for a 10% discount is Chris2023. 2023. What is it, 2023 already? And I've got 3 bottles of sake, no less. I'm going to... There goes all the food over the counter. Should have thought this through a bit more. But they have 3 bottles of sake in here. There goes the second. There goes the second bit of food. Good God. All right. I did ask Charlotte to come and help me with this, and she said no. And now I'm regretting not having her here because it would have been far less messy. Fucking hell. But Tippsy Sake, fantastic box here. We have 3 bottles of sake. To be honest, if I drink all the sake, I wouldn't trash the studio any more than I just did. So there you go. You get a nice little booklet telling you about all the wonderful places the sake comes from. I think the miracle... the floor's trashed. Fuck's sake. The miracle of sake. Very misunderstood drink, of course. And it's nice that Tippsy Sake actually describe how it's made, where it comes from, and why it is so damn good. And within the book here, you can see everything from where it's from, to the types of sake, to the process of how it's made. Junmai Ginjo, Daiginjo. I do love a bit of sake, especially in winter. And also, the sake and the food it goes with. The food that I've chosen today, or rather the sake I've chosen today, goes well with yakitori, with meat, which is now all over the floor. So, I don't know how much food there's going to be. I was really, really looking forward to that food. Motherfucker. But luckily, oh wait, I dropped tea trays, but there's one left. Let's put that somewhere very safe on the edge of that chair there. Nothing can go wrong. The chicken is safe. Fucking hell. Chris, when are you going to get married to Charlotte? Well, I don't think she's going to get married to me after this. I'm just trashing the studio. No, marriage. That'll be sometime next year. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, she'll still like me by then. Chris, for heaven's sake, what have you done to your studio? I know, right? How have I fucked it up this bad? But look, 3 different sakes. Look at that. I don't know which one I want to tuck into first. I'm going to let you guys decide. Which one should I tuck into first? We've got this one here, which is from an elegant sake with an appealing creaminess. with notes of melon and strawberry and a dry finish. This is Niizawa. This one's actually from Miyagi, up the road from here. And I think it won Best Sake Award at the wine contest in London last year. So this is going to be good. So we got this one. We'll call this yellow. If you want me to get this one or drink this one, yellow. If you want me to drink silver, just write silver. This one is Hakurakuse Tokubetsu Junmai. It's clean and direct sake, fresh and alive, just like me after that chicken. This sake is designed to complement light and delicate dishes like yakitori without overwhelming them. Excellent with white fish and green salad and soft cheese. And the final one, which we'll call black because it's got a black top on, is Chogetsu Clear Moon, founded in 1879. The Kodama family created the brand A Great Peaceful Mountain. That's what it means. I love the way sake, in Japan, it's just got a nice, elegant name to it. Peaceful Mountain. Wonderful. Rice polishing, 55%. Aromas of white spring flowers, grapefruit and mango. Wonderful, wonderful. Which one shall I try first, though, guys? I think this one's from Akita as well. All from very cold, snowy regions. Chris, have a drink on me. Thank you very much. I'm going to need a drink after what I've just done to my floor. Do you want to see what the floor looks like? Because it's pretty bleak now. God damn it. This is why you don't stream at 10 o'clock at night. When... stupid motherfucker. Anyway, it's clean now. There we go. It's clean. All right. It looks like everyone says yellow. I wonder why. Yellow. How did yellow win you over? I suppose it did win the award, and it does look pretty good. All right, this is 15%, and what you get to drink it out of is this: a nice masu wooden cup. Let's tuck into that. There's nothing better than enjoying some sake out of a wooden masu cup, which has a nice fragrant smell to it. Smells like citrus, they say. Chris, you should have yellow. All right, I'll have yellow. Don't you worry. All right, let's crack in. Let's crack on with it. Really need this now. Ooh, look at that. Very full-bodied. That smells very good, actually. What does that smell like? It's notes of melon and strawberry. Ooh. I think, yeah, it's a sad thing that sake, we don't drink much of it in the West. We need to do a better job in exporting it out of Japan. It's a very misunderstood drink. But anyway, you can't beat it in Japan with some yakitori. The last yakitori, the last box, I'm going to treat it like the cup of Christ. I'm going to be very careful how I position this chicken, given it is the last. But, fucking hell. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for joining tonight on this, as I trash my studio. Cheers. Ooh, that's very good. Quite fruity. Not too dry. Very nice. Chris, is sake usually drunk at room temperature? For the most part, yes. In winter, it's quite nice, heated up. They call it atsukan, where you take the bottle and you put it in like a kind of a pot of hot water and it boils the sake. Warms it up to about 50 degrees, and that's really nice. But, yeah, this is room temperature. Have Charlotte come over, Chris, and sort the studio out. Yeah, someone needs to do it. It's probably going to be me. Chris, if it wasn't 9 a.m, I'd be having a drink with you as well. Well, thank you very much, Ren. As I clean the studio, I've got a little treat for you. Before I launched this live show, I spent the last half an hour very quickly, very hastily, producing like a 20-second teaser trailer for the upcoming series of Journey Across Japan Frozen Frontiers, which is out this month in April, and that ain't no April Fool. It's a good series, got 4 episodes, lots of snow, lots of mayhem and madness. Natsuki, Joey, Pete, myself. It's a good one, and here's a few. It's not like a full trailer. I just wanted to throw some clips together and show you guys some of the cool stuff that's coming up. So I'll sort that floor out, and here you go. Here's a little sneak peek, not much, a little bit, of Journey Across Japan Frozen Frontiers. And look, there's the logo, and isn't that lovely? All right. Hey, that was a lot of fun. We saw there Joey being very unfortunate and losing. I didn't film the bit where Joey lost to Natsuki. We had a little competition between the two of them to see who could win this little contest, a sledding competition. And spoilers, Natsuki won, and he got to come on the train with me. This amazing snow train called the Fuyu no Shigetsu. It's a really beautiful steam train. And that poor Joey, the shot of him, I love it. Where is it? The shot of Joey looking at the where is it? The shot of Joey here. So I'll talk you through it. This is Mount Yote in Hokkaido, beautiful mountain near Niseko, the ski resort. Dave says it looks cold. Yes, Dave, it was very cold. There's Natsuki there, very excited to have won his prize and got on the train. Here's the Fuyu no Shigetsu. Credit to Paul Ballard, our cameraman, got some amazing drone shots of the train there, going over the tracks and through the snow. And there's Joey. Commiserations to Joey for not getting on the train. But this train, it's only open, they only run it for like a few weeks of the year, every year. And we got very lucky, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. There was only 2 seats left on the entire train. I got one, and that's why we had the competition between Joey and Natsuki. Otherwise, we would have all got on it. So it kind of added an element of fun to it. So there's Joey, looking sad. Oh, poor Joey. And Natsuki, the victor, wandering down the train. But Joey did get to go on the dog sled. Hokkaido has an indigenous people called the Ainu people, and they used to get around by dog sled, given it's like one of the snowiest places on earth. We wanted to kind of show that. And we went to an Ainu village as well later on in the series. But the dog sled was really cool. Beautiful backdrop. Look at that. But it didn't end too well, because while we were on the dog sled, Joey was controlling it. He was on the back controlling it. I was on the front trying to film it. And don't trust Joey when it comes to doing a dog sled, because he's not very good, as I discovered. Because look at I don't know what happened. He took the corner too fucking fast, and it ended in pain. Ouch. There you go. Interestingly, the Insta360 camera cut off right at that moment as we hit the floor. So, but it's going to be a good series. I think it'll be a lot of fun, guys. So stick around for that. It should be good. Chris, your new challenge is to bike from Hokkaido to Kagoshima within 7 days. I don't think I'll be going on a bike for a long time after the last bloody cycle, to be honest. Chris, I'm going to Japan 2 weeks for 21 days for a honeymoon. Any tips? Don't drop the yakitori on the floor. Don't ever do that. And also, make sure you eat lots of food, because I always say, with Japanese food, it's really hard to get good stuff outside the country. Maybe if you're in California, yeah, all right, you've got your fucking rolls there and whatnot, and it's fine. But like in Europe, it is quite tricky to get good Japanese food. So I'd say base your trip around eating lots of Japanese food and drinking lots of sake. And be sure to try some sake. It's hard to know what sake to drink when you go to a Japanese restaurant. Just be like, Nihonshu onegai shimasu osusume. Just say, what's your recommendation? Like, osusume onegai shimasu. And the store or the izakaya will recommend some sake. And if you're lucky, it'll be this one, because this has been bloody good so far. Nizawa Sake Brewery. This is really bloody good. Honestly. You never know, you never know how good the sake is going to be. This is exceptional. And now I've spilled it everywhere as well. Chris. I only need one more thing for my Chris Abroad in Japan soundboard. Please give it your best. Fwa fwa pure miracle kyun omuraisu oishi kunare. Oh dear, what the hell is that for? What are you going to use that for? All right, why did I read that out? I forbid you from using that on your soundboard. No, go on, use it. What's that? Is that an advert? Fwa fwa means fluffy. Pure miracle. Kun. Omurice means omelette with rice. Omurice-san. I don't know what that is. I don't know why I'm switching between the fucking cameras so much. Chris, well done on the cyclothon. Can you sing happy birthday to my mum, Maria? It's her birthday soon. Happy birthday, Maria. Have a good one. Have some sake. And stay healthy. Have a nice year. Have a good life. That's the extent to which I'm singing happy birthday, though. Chris, did you always like sake, or was it an acquired taste? This is a pretty good question, actually. before coming to Japan, I think I had sake like once. And I really just, when I spent many evenings kind of hunched over my food like this in an izakaya pub, it's a really nice accompaniment. And in my first year in Japan, I spent the long winters up here in North Japan just sitting in bars and restaurants drinking myself silly. And that's when I got into it. The thing about sake is it is very easy to drink, right, Nihonshu? It is very light and nomiyatsui, easy to drink, as we say in Japanese. And so it's I don't know many people that dislike sake. If you dislike sake, it's usually because you haven't had a good one like this one or this one. So bear that in mind. Chris. That's the Maid Cafe saying. Oh, really? That's what it's from, for fuck's sake. So I read out a slogan for a Maid Cafe. What have I become? Chris, I just wanted to ask if your new book will touch on how you met Pete, Joey, and the other guests on the channel. No, the book actually... So I got a book coming out. It's called Abroad in Japan. As you can tell, a lot of thought went into that name. So don't you dare think otherwise. Abroad in Japan, 10 years living in Japan. I didn't know what else to call it, apart from fucking The Adventures of Mr. Affable, or Are You YouTuber, or Like a Magic, 10 Years Living in Japan. To be fair, that would have been quite a good title, actually. Or what was somebody who said, what was it, Abroad in a Book or something? I can't remember what someone said. But anyway, what was the question? The book. Yeah, the book will not touch on how I met Pete, Joey, and the other guests, apart from how I met Natsuki and Ryotaro, actually. I do go into depth on how I met Natsuki and how I met Ryotaro. But even though the book's kind of set over that 10-year period of living in Japan, it's heavily weighted to those first 3 years when I kind of spent it in a daze, dazed and confused, culture shock to oblivion. You always remember the first few years really clearly, and that was like the most incredible part of my time in Japan. I wanted to write about that, to be honest. And there's lots of stories that I've never spoken about publicly that I wanted to feature. So yeah, the book is kind of about the first 3 years, to be honest. Chris, will you ever bring Felix, aka PewDiePie, on one of your adventures? I showed him around Yamagata the other day, and he put it in his vlog, so that's pretty cool. And we do like to hang out and go surfing, which I'm sure we'll be doing soon. Chris, Natsuki's indispensable. Yes, he is. Chris, you mentioned before you prefer Tokyo Tower over the Skytree. I'm curious if you've been to Shibuya Sky and if it's taken your top spot for Tokyo observation decks. You know what? I've not been to Shibuya Sky, and that's the observation deck overlooking Shibuya Crossing. I hear from many people, including Charlotte, that it is very good indeed. But my favourite observation deck, it's actually on the rooftop of Mori Tower in Roppongi. And from there, you've got an amazing view of Tokyo Tower. You can see the Skytree in the distance, Tokyo Bay. It's the most kind of central observation deck in Tokyo. The problem with the Skytree is, I don't know what this is. The problem with the Skytree, what the fuck is wrong with it, is it's very far away from anything good. And so you kind of don't get a good view of the downtown area in Tokyo. You miss a lot of the action. So for me, I think Mori Tower, and you can go on the rooftop where the helicopter pad is and get like a proper amazing 360 view of the city. So check that out. Chris, you are the podcast answers most questions about the set and confirms this move is not a joke. Yes, there's a podcast. I love you. Thank you, Jack. I can't wait for Mr. Donaldson to come to Japan. I'm sure he'll come very soon. We're in talks about it. But thank you very much. Chris, you look fantastic compared to when you got that health report. Why, thank you very much. Oh, it's funny, actually. I was looking at a live show I did in January the other day, and it kind of puts in perspective how rough I looked when I got back from the UK and how well things have come along in the last 2 months. Check this out. This is a screenshot I took. This is me 2 months ago. This is like it's turning into like a fucking commercial for the Abroad in Japan weight loss program. This was me before the Abroad in Japan diet plan, and here's what I look like now. Pale, a little bit, what's the word? I've got like some rash on my neck. So basically, don't look very good. And the reason I was very stressed when I came back from the UK. I'd eaten every day at like a restaurant. I'd eaten out too much. I hadn't drunk enough sake, which is good for stress. But yeah, this is what I look like after spending 2 months in the UK, writing a book, eating cheese every day. And here's what I look like after a fucking 9-day cycle. So yeah, I feel pretty good right now, and that's cool. I've always said though, like with losing weight and the fitness journey last year, it's never about physical appearance. For sure, it's nice to look in the mirror and go, oh yeah, I don't look like a train wreck today. But for the most part, it's what's happening on the inside. Like I care about heart and diabetes and everything else. So so that's the main thing. I feel a lot fitter. And even though this cycle, the one we just got back from in Kyushu, it made a mockery of the Hokkaido one. The Hokkaido one was like a walk in the park, like a picnic, a fucking holiday, compared to the one in Kyushu. I was in far less pain doing the Kyushu one, even though we had horrendous like weather, the hardest rain I've ever experienced, mountains and hills day after day. I got through it a lot easier than Hokkaido, just because I am fitter after the last sort of 6 months. So it's never too late to turn it around. This time last year, I felt like an absolute basket case. I felt like I was never going to do anything good again, like any kind of fitness stuff. And since then, done the cycle, done the Spartan race, the chess boxing. So yeah, never too late to turn it around, even though I know I'm only 32, almost 33 in 20 days' time. But yeah, I feel good for it. Chris, every trip to Japan I scour for the best onsen. Kusatsu currently is number 1. Next winter will be my first trip to Hokkaido. Any onsen recommendations? Well, you've got to go to Noboribetsu Hot Springs. Kusatsu is very nice. We went there on Wacky Weekend last year after we saw the snow monkeys, and it's a beautiful place. Kusatsu is probably the most atmospheric onsen town in Japan. It's only about a 2-hour train ride and a 1-hour bus ride from Tokyo. So I highly recommend Kusatsu. I don't know why I've switched to this angle. I just want to look over here now, but now I'm going to look back. Chris. Congratulations on the cyclothon, says Jonas. I'm going to attempt the Shikoku 88 this year, taking a few months off work. Do you know much about it? The Shikoku 88 sounds like Kill Bill with the crazy 88. Are you going to battle your way through 88 men with swords? No. In fact, the Shikoku 88 is 88 temples, and it's they're dotted throughout the island of Shikoku, and a lot of people do it as a pilgrimage. I've often been requested to do it, but the idea of visiting 88 temples seems like quite a lot to take on. You've got to really, take a few months off work, as you are, Jonas, to do it. But best of luck to you. Let me know how it goes. I actually don't know a single person who's done it, and I've always wondered what it'd be like. So, but yeah, it's no small feat visiting 88 temples. You might have small feet after doing it though, because it'd probably be a lot of fucking walking. You made the cycle ride look easy compared to Connor. Connor seemed like he needs the fitness routine now. Oh, don't say that. He'll eat me. He'll fucking kill me. To be fair to Connor, he did have the rucksack on his back the whole time, and he had to entertain everyone throughout the stream. He also did fall off twice. Some people aren't as agile or as affable as others, but he's going to kill me if he sees that. Please don't let him see that. But to be fair, he had to entertain everyone, and he had the backpack on. So yeah, he did an amazing job. So well done, Connor, even though he fell off twice. I think it's also because he has the clip-on shoes, right? So his shoes clip into the pedals, so when he's pedaling, it's good because when he goes down and up, it's applying pressure. And so I have to pedal harder because my feet, particularly in the rain, were slipping all over the pedals. But at the same time, I feel like the clip-ons mean that if you start to lose your stability, you just you fall off and you can't release your feet in time, right? I wonder if the clip-on shoes were part of the reason that he fell off the bike, as my slippers are falling off my feet now. What the fuck? Chris, I've noticed the Kansai area seems to have a lack of content compared to Tokyo. Any thoughts on why that would be, other than the obvious of Tokyo just being bigger? It's not Tokyo being bigger, it's the fact that all foreigners live in the Tokyo area. Seem to be me as well, sadly. Before we get into that, I need another drink. Alright guys, which one should we try next? That was a solid 9 out of 10. That's actually one of the nicest suckers I've ever had. I might have a bit more of that later on. Silver top or black top? Silver top. What we got here? This is the Connoisseur, it's called. Hakurakuse Tokubetsu Junmai Sake. The Connoisseur. It's dry, it's best served chilled, and it's 16% in alcoholic content. It's designed to complement light and delicate dishes without overwhelming them. Or we got Black Top, which is the Gold Award winner, apparently. The US National Sake Awards. Ooh, artisan sake from the floating world. Chogetsu Clear Moon. Ooh, I like the look of this one. Yeah. And it dates back to 1879. Crikey. Must be good. What we got there? It looks like... Oh, is it silver? Is it black? I don't know. To be fair, there is a new polling feature on YouTube. I should have used that. But I think most people say black. So I'm going to go for black. All right. All this talk of Connor makes me need to drink sake. There you go. Ooh, it smells very nice. Very fragrant. But yeah, if you come to Japan, which I'm sure many of you are, try the sake, for the love of God. It's hard to find it overseas, unless Tippsy Sake. Again, guys, if you want to get Tippsy Sake, check it out. Link to the description box below. Use the code CHRIS2023, and you get a nice cheeky 10% off. So do it. Trust me on that. And cheers. Ooh. A little bit drier than the first one. Quite fragrant. Very easy to drink. I think I prefer the first one, but actually, yes, it's pretty good. It's not. There's a nice subtle difference in the flavours. So, Chris, you've been an inspiration for my own weight loss journey. I'd love it if you made a video on how you've done it. I mean, I haven't done one video on how I did it. I've done a few, haven't I, with the cycle and the chest boxing stuff. But a lot of the battle of getting fit has been off camera, going to the gym, running upstairs. There's small things like life hacks you could do in everyday life to get fit. Number one. Don't eat too many pieces of chicken. Number two, though, like rather than taking the train or the bus or the elevator or escalator, try and take the stairs. Try and walk more. Those little things, even though they sound sort of trivial, after doing it every day for like weeks and months on end, it really does add up. So whether I'm going to my apartment or my studio, where I am now, rather than taking the elevator up, I walk up the stairs and. Yeah, it's pretty. It would take me a long time to actually enjoy walking upstairs, but small things like that, if you think about all the calories you're burning or the exercise, it does add up. So do that. Chris, I love street food. I'm visiting Japan next month. Do you have any amazing yatai experiences you could share? The best ones are ones that look barely functional, but serve incredible food. Basically, what you want is the Abroad in Japan ramen shop. Barely functional, but we serve incredible food, like this plastic piece of awful. What I will say is the Tsukiji Outer Market, which we went to in a video a few years ago, myself and Ryotari. Even though Tsukiji Fish Market moved to Toyosu a few years ago, the Outer Market is still there. So the inner market, if you want to see like the auctions with the fish and stuff, you go to Toyosu. But if you just want to eat the food that comes to the market and try kind of Japanese street food, that is an amazing place to go still. And I was really just surprised and impressed by it. So I can't recommend that enough. And also, Hakata, or rather Fukuoka, has the nice yatai stands down the side of the river, which we went to in the video, 6 Things to Do in Fukuoka. So check that out as well. 2 videos there. Should be able to help you out there. Chris, dear Chris from Kat and Brittany. Hello, Kat and Brittany. I think you messaged last time, so thank you. Good to see you again. When you first moved to Japan and started to get to know people, did you find yourself getting nervous at all? A little bit, I guess, but not really. There wasn't too much to get nervous about. I think sake helps, to be fair. When you go to, and I did write about this in the book, like I used to go to this izakaya every day, nearly every day after work. I got a really bad health report, the worst I've ever got in my first year of living in Japan, because I went to this izakaya pub every, maybe like 2-3 times a week. I would eat, I would drink, I would smoke. You need to get through classes sometimes. But at the izakaya, you'd sit there, you'd drink a lot of sake, and as you got more inebriated and relaxed, you would open up and talk to more people and get to know more people. And I think Natsuki was probably quite drunk the night he introduced himself to me as well. So I'm not saying alcohol is the answer, although it definitely is. But what I am saying is, no, I didn't really get that nervous. I don't think I did. But, you always wonder, certainly in the countryside, I was always worried how I would be perceived out there in Yamagata. I've talked about in the past how my a girl I dated years ago, I met her mum at the annual town festival, and her mum just hid behind her, terrified to see like someone who just looked like me. Maybe I looked intimidating or awful. I don't know. Probably that. But I don't think she'd ever met a foreign person before, and she freaked out. But luckily, most people aren't like that. But you do get people out there in the countryside who are a bit freaked out to see. So, yeah, other than that, you'll be fine. Chris, will we see you on Tom Scott's channel or vice versa soon? And how was meeting him in general? You guys are my favourite Brits. I did get to meet Tom Scott. We went for sushi in Shibuya, and it was pretty surreal to meet Tom Scott. For those of you who don't know, big British YouTuber. He does a video every Monday. He's not missed a single Monday in almost 10 years. Really nice guy, very down to earth. Very informative videos. And he's been in Japan filming the last few weeks. And yeah, really nice guy. Just really down to earth. We didn't film anything, unfortunately. We couldn't really think of anything to do together. And also it was really bad timing because I had the cycle, I had the bar, I had Journey Across Japan. So, but I'm not ruling it out in the future. I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing what he releases and what videos he makes in Japan. Chris, well done on completing the cyclothon. Have you recovered nicely? What are your thoughts on in real life streaming after carrying Connor's backpack for a short time? I did carry Connor's backpack for about 20 minutes. I didn't find it that heavy, but what I did find was to cycle and be entertaining at the same time was very, very difficult. And I don't know how he does it. He's got boundless energy. To be an IRL streamer, you need to not spill sake all over the table. And you also need to be very, constantly engaging. And I could do a live show for an hour. Hell, I could do it for 2 hours. But to do it for 9 hours straight, every day for 9 days, that requires a very special kind of personality, and one that I lack pretty sorely. But yeah, really cool seeing him at work, and Pete. Chris, how are your legs after the cyclone? My legs are dangerously close to being good. They're getting there. They're getting there. They still ache actually when I wake up in the morning, but they're not good for the most part. Chris, I have a soy nut and peanut allergy. What are my chances of survival in Tokyo if I get my job there? It will be tricky. Don't get me wrong. It will be tricky, but I think you'll be all right. Just eat chicken. Is there soy in that? Sometimes they have soy sauce. If you get sweet, sticky sauce, go for salted, and you'll be all right. Chris, actually, all this talk of food has made me a bit hungry. I'm gonna eat something. What have we got here? Let's have negima. Nice chicken skewer there with onion. God, awkward feel. There we go. It has been sitting here a while, so it's a little bit cold. But, that's so good. Yakitori, my favourite food in Japan to this day. It's just so chewy and nice and juicy. With yakitori, they cook it very slowly over a charcoal grill. And, when you cook meat slowly, it kind of it sort of locks in all the juices and makes it kind of tender. That's why I love yakitori. Oh man, it's fucking good. Favourite food in Japan to this day. Chris, I am intrigued to inquire about the future prospects of your esteemed studio. Given the impending transition to Tokyo, your insights would be greatly appreciated. So we've talked to the company that built the studio, and for a rather large fee, unfortunately, they are going to dismantle it and move it to Tokyo. But I figured if we are going to move this whole thing, right, which I think is going to be good, if we do move it, I do think it'd be nice to expand it. And there is a problem with this studio, and that is that whole side down there, right? The side street. I'm just absolutely trashing the studio today. What's wrong with me? God damn it. No. There you go. What a muppet. The other side of the studio, down there, Going to move carefully now. We can't film down there because the street's kind of narrow and it's really difficult. So I'm hoping to extend that side a bit and maybe put a whole new backdrop in there, providing I don't smash the rest of the studio to pieces in the next hour. Chris, make it bigger. We're going to make the studio bigger. What do you think we should do though, guys? Open to ideas. Hit me with what you got. I'll read your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, what would you like to see in the studio? What could we add? I was thinking like a cyberpunk bedroom or something, or like cyberpunk bedroom, or a train carriage, or anything. That's the beauty of it, right? You can build whatever you want with these guys. They're amazing. Chris, what are your thoughts on J.K. Rowling? Oh dear, we're not going to go there again. For those of you that didn't see the live stream, the 9-day cycle, I stressed Connor out by bringing up controversial topics. Even though I said nothing controversial, I just annoyed him by going, J.K. Rowling or Joseph Stalin. And he got like, oh no, Chris, don't talk about this horror. My thoughts on J.K. Rowling is, why couldn't she shut up and roll around in a pile of money in Edinburgh? Why did she have to open her mouth and chat shit? But yeah, I don't know. And also, actually, the trailer... I put a photo out of the trailer for Journey Across Japan, the new one that's coming out, right? This video. I put out a photo of the train. Oh, look how happy he is. Look how happy he is to be in the new series of Journey Across Japan. And look how happy he's not to be in Journey Across Japan. But I put out a photo of the steam train and Natsuki saying something like, oh, Harry Potter train, Hogwarts. And some people got offended by that and whatnot. And it was like, oh... shut up, who cares? Like, no. Like, you can dislike the woman all you want, but don't diss the train. Don't diss that goddamn train. Chris. Alright, here's the ideas for the other side of the studio. Here's what we got. Let's tuck into some comments. You should put a karaoke in there, Chris, or an onsen hot spring. I mean, karaoke could be kind of cool, but then you can film in a karaoke booth really easily, right? So I'm not sure about that. And an onsen... while I would love an onsen, I see a lot of problems about having a big bathtub filled with water around a set that has about 50 lights in it. Can you imagine? Like we've already seen tonight, I've trashed the studio with yakitori and breaking signs. Can you imagine having a hot spring in here and having... No, it'd be a fucking nightmare. Chris, what about Nakagin Capsule Tower window? Yeah, I've thought about that actually. The big round... kind of bulbous window, right? That'd be kind of cool. A life-size Dr. Jelly statue. I think I'm all Dr. Jellied out. I don't want to do that. God, no. What about a yakitori street vendor cart? Yeah, it's all right. It's nothing overly special, is it? What about a J.K. Rowling monument? No. What about a love hotel? A love hotel set. That could be interesting. The thing is, though, again, I've kind of filmed in so many fucking love hotels that I feel like we don't need to do that now. What about a crane game machine, Chris, so Connor can spend all his money? Yes, I'd like to profit off of Sea-Dog VA's weird addiction to crane games. Why not? Chris, I'm just dropping by to say hi and congratulations to you and Connor for the cycle. Good luck on the move. Thank you very much, Amanda. Very kind of you. Have a nice day. What about a hair salon? No. If I want a hair salon, I'll go and film Natsuki. What about a British pub next to a ramen shop? A British pub? No. This is the thing, right? It's tough. I really don't know what to do for another set. So I want to extend the set, but I just don't know what to do. A hologram wife. A hologram wife? What the hell's that? That's a terrible idea. Chris, you should do a train carriage with a rolling backdrop. You know what? That's actually the thing I've thought of the most, having a train carriage with a rolling backdrop. That would be really cool. I watched a stream from the great Pete Premier 2 a few months ago when he was in France, right? He was in France. And he was on the high-speed train going from Paris to Lyon, I think. And as he was sat there on the train, he had the camera there and the microphone breaking, and he had the rolling scenery going past the window. And it looked really cool. And I thought, yes, I want to do that. So, yeah, honestly, I think something like a train or a flying car could be kind of cool. But maybe I'm getting carried away now. Maybe I'm going mad with power. Chris, what about a cyberpunk train? What's the difference between a normal train and a cyberpunk train, though? You're going to have to enlighten me there. You're going to have to enlighten me on what the hell the difference is. Chris, what about a giant Ana de Armas? I can't say her name. Ana de Armas. No. Like in Blade Runner 2049, right? Good old Ana de Armas. What about a Karate? It's like karate fucking fused with karaoke. That's what happens when you drink 2 bottles of sake. You start to fuse Japanese words together. Karate meets... I said it again. Karate meets karaoke. Karaate. I like that. It's where you sing and fight at the same time. And on that note, let's have the third and final bottle of sake. This one, Hakurakuse. Talk a bit to Jumai Sake. The connoisseur describes itself as. Let's tuck into this. So, good old Tippsy Sake. It's these days it's tailor-made. Before they would send you the bottles of sake. They would sort of curate them, what they thought were the best sake. Now you can do a little quiz, right? So I chose these bottles through a quiz that I did on the website, and I'm going to show you what that looks like now because it's pretty cool. So. Take the quiz. Boom. Hello, I'm Sachike, and I'd like to answer some questions. All right. What's your favourite flavour? Well, I like delicate, aromatic, and sweet. Yes. Continue. Pick the categories you do not want in your subscription. Sparkling. I like everything else, though. What do you like to eat when you drink? Nothing. I want my drink to speak for itself. Fresh sushi. I'm a carnivore, meat all the way. Yeah, I think we know it's that one. What's your preferred sake temperature? I'm happy with both, to be honest, Sachiko. And what tasting notes are you interested in? I like tropical, I like apple, and I like a bit of dried fruit. And then we go here. What kind of sake would you like to start with? I'm ready to learn more. And then, what happens then? What's your budget? 20 bottles, $20 a bottle. Yeah, sure. 3 bottles. How often do you want to receive your order? Every month. Why not? Treat yourself. And then, calculating while I pour this bottle. So, here we go. 3 different types of sake. Hakuto, Heiwa, and Nigori. These are different ones to what I've got now, but it's pretty cool how it tailors it towards you. Obviously, throughout Japan, hundreds of distilleries, hundreds of breweries. It's nice to know you can find the sake that meets you, and each one has its own unique story. So, bottoms up. There you go. Good old Tippsy Sake. Again, guys, if you want 10% off, use Chris2023 and click on the link in the description box below. Why not treat yourself, as I am now? Celebrating $550,000 raised for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, not to be confused with the IDF, the Israeli Defence Force. To this day, people think we're raising money for the Israeli Defence Force. I think they're already pretty well funded, and I think the political ramifications of that would be not great. But I'm very proud of the fact that we did raise $500,000, $500,000. Like, I still can't believe that's a thing. Like, the cycle... When you're on a bike cycling 100 kilometres a day for 9 days straight, your mind goes to magical places. You have to sort of go off to Narnia to get through it. One thing I'll say about the cycle is it made time feel very long in a way that just life doesn't when you're just going through the normal motions. And it's something I've been thinking about a lot, like how to kind of make time slow down by going out and doing more things and sort of exploring new places. But really glad, and well done, Iron. Somebody says Iron Mouse Defence Fund. Yes, why not? The Iron Mouse Defence Force. It was great to have Iron Mouse there as well in the basket throughout, so that was really cool. And I'm sure we'll do another one in the distant future. Ooh, this one's quite nice. It's got a bit of a kick to it. I like this. Hakurakuse. I have to say, though, my favourite so far has been this one right here. I would order this one again for sure. That's really good. Nizawa Sake Brewery. Actually, only about 40 minutes away from where I am now. Chris, been watching you a long time. brother. Happy for you and Charlotte. Thank you very much, Tack. Didn't catch the stream till now, but I hope you're happy to move to Tokyo. Greetings from Switzerland. Why, thank you very much. I am actually hoping to go to Switzerland this year. I keep thinking of what I want to do and where I want to go on holiday. I don't go on enough actual holidays and stop working. Like, being in Japan, I do get to travel a lot, right? But I don't get to just switch off. And I'm really keen on going to Switzerland and climbing some mountains this year. Whether or not that'll happen, God knows. But yeah, I think if you're born in Switzerland, you've won the lottery, and I hate you. God damn it! Like, imagine being born in Switzerland. It's just the perfect country. If anyone's been there, I went to this place called Lauterbrunnen, and it's in this valley. And you get there, and there's just a waterfall coming off the side of the mountain, just pouring out onto the valley below. It literally looks like what the Garden of Eden would look like, and it's not fair. As someone raised in Kent, in England, in a field of rubbish, to go to Switzerland, it's just not fair. But yeah, well done if you're there and you're born there. I hate you. I don't hate you. Well done. Top of the morning, Chris. When did you realise you went from not understanding Japanese conversation to actually understanding everything? Well, I don't understand everything. I still struggle sometimes to pick up a book and read my way through it. But it was actually about a year before I really was able to sit down and have a conversation. And it was actually the first time I met Natsuki. And we were sitting down. We bumped into each other in the street. And he said, "Oh, foreigner, sugoi." And I went, "Yes, I am indeed foreign." And he said, "Oh, karaoke, let's go." And I went, "Okay then, I don't know who you are. You do scare me. But let's go to karaoke." And we went to karaoke. And, Natsuki's English, to be fair, he does know a lot of words. He has fuck all knowledge of grammar. It's just like a jumble of words. But you can still have a conversation with him. But I did use Japanese for the first time ever, after 1 year of learning. I did use them that night I met Natsuki, and in between singing various Clash songs at karaoke, it was nice. I got to speak Japanese for the first time, so it was probably Natsuki. So I have a lot of fond memories of that, and that first encounter with Natsuki. Chris, I want you to know how much my partner loved your videos, particularly the cat documentary. Thank you very much. Not the cat documentary. Oh no, not Cat Nation. Chris, are we ever going to see Taken for Granted? I really did want to do a Taken for Granted trailer for like April Fools, but I think we'll just do it in general anyway. Rather than actually film a whole series of Taken for Granted, like putting Gant through hell, I'd love to just film like a trailer for a hypothetical series, and that would be more fun, to be honest. Chris, when is new Journey Across Japan video? Well, for those of you that missed it, we do have a little minuscule trailer that I'm going to share with you now while I munch on some yakitori. Just before this show started, I've better finish this skewer. Just before the show started, I bundled some clips together for a very short, crappy teaser trailer. I wanted to share something with you guys for the series that's coming out. And here's a quick look at what you can expect in Journey Across Japan 5. I keep thinking it's 4. It's not. It's 5. That was good. Somebody said the music. Yes. You know what? I had a real hard time trying to find the right song for this trailer. And that song, not the like a Brawn Japan, Journey Across Japan song, but that one that kicks in like the one that kicks in like God, where is it? Here. I really like this song. And we actually used it on the last series of Journey Across Japan for an underwater sequence where we're swimming with the fish. Swimming with the fishes. I love this song. It's a really cool song. But yeah, it took me forever. With Journey Across Japan 4 in Okinawa, I already knew I wanted to use Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax for it. With this one, I had no idea what the fuck I was going to do. But we faced some criticism on the last journey across Japan, partly because I bungled the release date and released it so far apart. It was stupid. But like some people said, we had too much fun. And I took that to heart. And this next series of Journey Across Japan, there's no fun at all. No, the next series of Journey Across Japan, there's a lot more cultural stuff, shall we say. Back to basics, back to kind of focusing on interesting Japanese stuff. To be fair, when you go to Okinawa, it is like a tropical paradise. And the main thing people do there is swim around and dick about and have fun with fish and swim. That sounds awful. But, so that's why the series was like that. But this series, in Hokkaido, it's a lot more cultural stuff. So we focused on the people, the places, a bit more, the food. I think it's a really fun series. It was fantastic to have Pete Premier 2 along for the ride as well. And the dogs were really cute. Really cute dogs. Chris, thank you for being an inspiration. Oh, thank you, Alishka. Editing my very first YouTube right now as you're speaking. Get back to editing. Less watching the video, more editing, I say. But best of luck to you. Editing's a lot of fun. In recent times, I've hired help to get editing because I just can't run everything and edit at the same time and film and shoot. But yeah, editing is like my favourite part of making a video, maybe. Well, other than getting the shot. Actually, yeah, my favourite part of doing a video is getting the shot, the camera, and the second part is editing. It's so important. It's so important. Chris, greetings from Chicago. We love your videos. Best wishes with your move to Edo, says Jennifer. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Edo. We're off to Edo. So, Tokyo. Why the hell am I moving to Tokyo? I said previously that I would never do it in a million years. I think I said that anyway. The truth is, I never wanted to move to Tokyo. Not because Tokyo is not good. Tokyo is a fucking cool city. Make no mistake about it. There's so much to see and do. The food's amazing. It's a very safe city. It's easy to walk around and explore and discover. It's almost like 500 cities in one as well. You go to a different ward and it's like a whole different place. From Shinjuku and Asakusa to Shiodome and Shinagawa. It's a very different sort of place no matter where you go. So many different vibes going on. But I am someone who was sort of born and raised in the countryside, about an hour outside of London. And I used to love just walking around the woods and the forests and just chilling out and driving through the countryside. I was never really an urban person. I feel like I can't think that well in a sort of urban environment. And when I first moved here to Japan, those first 3 years, I was so happy and lucky and fortunate to live in Yamagata, where we had a volcano. Like literally, I'd come out my apartment, right, and there'd be this 2,200 meter volcano on the horizon. This beast of a mountain, the tallest mountain in North Japan. An amazing sight to see on the way to work every day. And a constant reminder that I was in Japan, right? Because in the UK, I think the tallest mountain is probably about 1,400 metres and it's in Scotland. And in the UK we have like a field and a hill where I was from. And in Japan it was rice fields, the sea and a volcano. And so I could really think, and I could just, after work, I'd often grab a coffee, drive for about 10 minutes and I'd be kind of just on the coastline, just chilling out, and yeah, it was really nice. It was beautiful. And then I moved to Sendai, and life has been good here. It's a pretty chill city, certainly by Japanese standards. It's not a mega city. It's got a population of about 1.2 million. So if it was in the UK, it'd still be sort of the fourth or fifth biggest city. But it's a nice city. It's kind of chill. And most importantly of all, I could get to the countryside easily. In 20 minutes in the car, you could be either at the sea on the Pacific coastline, or you could be in the mountains skiing or discovering new places. So I never really intended to move to Tokyo. But the sad truth is, and it's the same for the UK, the US for the most part, if you are working in the sort of media industry, everyone just ends up in the same bloody city. In the UK, it's London, of course. London's like a big fucking vacuum cleaner, hoovering up all the talent, all the people. They go to the London area. In the US, it's New York or LA. And so for Japan, it's very much Tokyo. Like somebody said earlier on, Chris, why is there no videos in Osaka? And that's because there aren't that many kind of creators in Osaka. There's not many YouTubers. They all end up in Tokyo. And it is a shame because as much as I love Tokyo, Japan is more than Tokyo. And I think most people's image of Japan is the sort of concrete jungle of the sort of Tokyo kind of mega city. But yeah, I never wanted to live there. But the reason I'm living there, or I'm going to live there, is because I spend so much time in Tokyo right now that I'm barely actually here in Sendai. Like, I spend a lot of my time on the road, right, doing stuff, travelling, filming, and I often find I'm spending more time living in bloody hotels in Tokyo than I am here in Sendai. And it costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of time travelling on the bullet train up and down, 2 hours or whatever, between Sendai and Tokyo. So I'm losing time, money, and unfortunately, most of my friends do live in Tokyo, with the exception of Natsuki and Ryotaro. Dare I say, is Ryotaro a friend? Yeah, I suppose he is. He's in Sendai. But all my friends are in Tokyo, and, it's kind of sad that I don't really have many friends in Sendai. I've done a very crappy job befriending anyone here. So that's kind of the reason why. Nearer to friends, less time travelling and spent in hotels means I can focus on working more. And also seeing the other side of Japan. One downside to being up here in Tohoku, if you look at a map of Japan, you can pretty much carve a line down the middle where most people spend their time. If they're in Tokyo, they spend most of their time in East Japan, so travelling, Tokyo, Hakone, Hot Springs, or Nikko, or sort of up here to Sendai or Hokkaido. And then if you're on the other side, in Osaka or Kyoto or Kobe, people, you don't really see them. You never see folks on that side, unfortunately. There's like a weird divide. And it's only a 2.5 hour bullet train ride between Tokyo and Kyoto. But there's a separation there, like an invisible barrier that definitely divides the country in half. So I'm hoping by being in Tokyo as well, I can cover the west side of Japan and go to more places and sort of see places like Kobe and Osaka and Nara and Wakayama more. Because I've done Tohoku to death over the years. So hopefully the good thing that will come out of it is we'll get to see more of the other side of Japan, because of the 250 videos I've made over the years, so many of them are set here in Tohoku by the virtue of being here. So I'm going to miss Tohoku, but it's not like I'm not going to come back here. Of course, Natsuki's up here, Ryotaro's up here. And you might be thinking, is Natsuki sad that you're going to Tokyo, Chris? Is Natsuki sad? No, not at all. In fact, 6 years ago, when I moved here, Natsuki wanted me to live in Tokyo. I was like, I live in Sendai, Natsuki, I'll be closer. He was like, no, fuck off, move to Tokyo. Because the truth is, it's actually quicker for him to get from Sakata to Tokyo by airplane, only 1 hour. If he comes to Sendai, it's a 3-hour drive, and he doesn't like driving. So, yeah, he's quite happy I'm moving to Tokyo, and in fact, we'll probably see him more as a result as well, because it's easier for him. Doesn't have to drive. So, But it's a big change, 10 years I've lived here. I've been very lucky to live up here for 10 years. And, honestly, Tohoku, I feel very lucky and very fortunate to have spent that decade here. A third of my life now, which is kind of terrifying to think about, and crazy and wild. But yeah, very lucky above all that I've got to call this part of Japan home. And if you do come to Japan and live here and move here, it's nice. I'd recommend trying to find a way of not ending up in Tokyo at first, because everyone, in the end, does end up living in Tokyo and moving there. So if you can start off somewhere in the countryside, you'll get to experience a side of Japan that a lot of people don't. And I feel very privileged and very lucky to have had that perspective and shared that with you guys over the years as well. I'm going to have some drinks and a bit of yakitori. Chris, have you ever thought of streaming the game Civilization? It's like chess on steroids. I'd love to play against you, Pete, and the rest of the crew, says Mark. Well, Mark, I do love Civilization, but isn't it like a game that takes like 5 hours, 6 hours to play through? I do have it, but good God, it takes ages to play that bloody game. This is definitely the best one. If you get to choose, this is the one. Nizawa Sake Brewery. Beautiful stuff. And again, guys, if you want to try some sake from Tippsy Sake, 10% off. Chris 2023 is a discount code, and the link is in the description box below. Chris, your videos motivated me to learn Japanese. Thanks for sharing the memes and the culture with us. Thank you very much, Andy. I do want to do a video this year trying to speak Japanese for a day, 24 hours straight. I did film it last year with Nancy and Charlotte, and I watched it back and I realised I didn't speak enough Japanese. And what happened, basically, was because I was speaking only Japanese, I held back from speaking at all, and it was a pretty crappy video. So let's do that again. Sailor Sludge, like the name, says, "Hey Chris, I didn't get to watch all of your bike trip across Kyushu, but I love the part I saw. It was when you were in that restaurant eating steak and laughing about the AI hot dog song. It really made my day." What an awful song that was. I had a song. What was it? A hot dog song about Charlotte. I used the good old ChatGPT, which you can do anything on. It's like insane. I said, make a song about Charlotte eating a hot dog. And for those of you that missed it, I'll read it out. Charlotte won't be happy, but luckily she's not here to crucify me. But yeah, ChatGPT, terrifying. The future's here, and it is hilarious. Like, it took ChatGPT like a second to think of this rap song about Charlotte. Here it is. Oh yeah, so I'm sure many of you already know, like the direction things are heading and how scary it is. All this AI stuff, basically. But check this out. I asked ChatGPT to make a breakup letter to someone using only spaghetti metaphors. Check this out. I wrote, write a letter asking my girlfriend to marry me using only spaghetti metaphors. I don't know how a normal human being could write this, let alone in 1 second. Here we go. Dear girlfriend, you are the meatball to my spaghetti, the marinara to my sauce, the parmesan to my cheese, and the needle to my pasta dish. I'm glad I'm mildly drunk, because I won't be able to get through this otherwise. You're the perfect complement to my life, and I can't imagine a day without you. Just as a spaghetti dish needs all the ingredients to come together, I need you in life to make it complete. You bring flavour, texture, and richness to everything we do together, and I'm grateful for every moment we have shared. So, my love, I ask you, will you be my pasta partner for life? Will you marry me and join me on this delicious journey together? Yours always. Insert name here. Terrifying. We're fucked. Joey. To be fair, Joey wrote the song "Too Much Volcano" in the space of about 3 hours. If it'd been ChatGPT, we could have got it done in seconds. But yeah, the main one I wrote, or the main thing I requested ChatGPT to do, was make a rap about Charlotte eating hot dogs, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Do you want to hear it? Some of you might have heard it already. It is shocking. Basically, I was watching Charlotte. She was eating some hot dogs. I was eating some hot dogs, and I was like, all right, let's see how good this ChatGPT thing really is. And it bashed this out in about 1 second. Oh God, I don't really know if I want to fucking read this awful shit out. I'm glad she's not here. All right. It's Charlotte in Japan with a hot dog in hand, licking it up with a flavour so grand. From Shibuya to Harajuku, she's on a quest to find the hot dog that will pass the test. She's got her ketchup, her mustard too, and when she licks it up, it's like a dream come true. The way she chomps down with a mouth so wide makes us all want to bite and join the hot dog ride. She's explored the city from north to south. And when she finds a good hot dog, she don't shut her mouth. She shares it with us through her vlogs and posts, and when she licks it up, it's like she loves it the most. So let's give it up for Charlotte in Japan, the hot dog queen with a love that'll never end. She's licking it up with all her might, and we all want to be like her on a hot dog night, whatever the fuck that is. Honestly, we're fucked. This is terrifying. So there you go, ChatGPT. That's how I use it for evil. If you haven't used it yet, go and use it and prepare to be horrified by AI. Chris, the grass is greener on the other side. What was that? What was that about Switzerland? Chris, the grass is greener on the other side. but Switzerland is quite good. It is very good. Congratulations to you and Charlotte. I wish you the best on the move. Why not do a Neko Cafe theme as a nod to the future missus, says Lissa. Neko Cafe. You know, when we did the Cat Nation documentary, I ate some pasta in the in the cat cafe. I was fucked. There was like cat hair all over the pasta. Don't do that. Don't have a cat cafe with food in it. Chris, when will you get Pete Donaldson on a live show? If he isn't there in person, a picture-in-picture will do the job. Well done on the cycling, says Jan or Jan. Pete Donaldson. Word on the street is he could be here as soon as June. So don't worry, he could be here soon. Chris, would you... No. Chris, would you recommend studying a degree course in translation in Japan? I'm studying Australian matriculation. Ooh, that's a word I've never heard before at the moment, and I'm hoping to scuba dive in Okinawa one day. I don't know. I didn't study in Japan. I know people that did, and they had very good experiences. So yeah, I'd consider studying Japan. And I definitely recommend scuba diving in Okinawa. I only been snorkeling in Okinawa, which isn't quite as glamorous or impressive as scuba diving. But Okinawa is it's just insane. It looks like someone has used fucking ray tracing on the water and used like graphics, top-notch graphics. Like in the UK, when you go in the sea, you can see maybe like 3 inches in front of you. Maybe not even that. It's like swimming in mud. In Okinawa, you can see like 30, 50 metres, probably 100 metres into the distance. Clear as day, underwater. I didn't even know water like that existed, right? Outside of fucking Photoshop. It's magic. So I would love to scuba dive in Okinawa, of all places. And if you're someone who scuba dives or wants to scuba dive or even snorkel, Okinawa. I love the way I made snorkeling sound more difficult than scuba diving there. But no, Okinawa, magical place. Love it. Chris, when you say you're moving to Tokyo, do you mean somewhere closer to central Tokyo or somewhere in the greater Tokyo area? Cheers for all the laughs and great videos over the years. Thank you very much, Joe. Basically, yeah, going to move pretty central in Tokyo, I think. We're still looking at where exactly, and we've got some apartments lined up that we're looking at, but they're all going to be pretty central in Tokyo. So it does mean, if you're in Tokyo, you might run into me. So come and say hello. We did have quite a lot of people on the cycle come and say hello to us, which was really awesome, and folks run into us. There was somebody messaged me afterwards saying, Chris, I saw you at Kagoshima, but I didn't say hello, wish I had. If you ever see me, please do come and say hello. I'm not a monster. I'm not going to eat you. Probably. But, like, come and say hello. I don't bite. Probably. I'm not going to... Yeah, I'm nice. Come and say hello. Don't be afraid. Because it's sad. If you don't... The odds are, if we do run into each other, it probably will be once. So take advantage of that. Get a free photo. Although I should start charging. Chris, that rap was gross. Yes, it was awful. I don't disagree. Chris, has PewDiePie seen the studio? Yes, he has. In fact, check this out. I've got photos. Let's not smash everything. I've got photos here. I take a Polaroid of everyone that comes to the studio. And somewhere in this pile, I believe he's there. Let's see who we can find. We've got the man, the myth, the legend. But he doesn't want to focus. We've got the great, one and only, Natsuki. There he is. I don't know what he's holding, but it's a fucking children's nightmare. Next up, we've got Paul, the great Paul. Cameraman, 1/3 of Van Gang, and a little bit like Michael Caine. Not a lot of people know that, but Mr. Bod, that's Paul. He's going to kill me now. And there he is, the great man himself, showing the fucking G Fuel product that he sells so much and gifted me as a Christmas present. Actually, tastes quite good. And then we've got Dave. This is Dave, the editor, looking about as suave as a pile of bricks. He's going to kill me. We've got someone. I don't know who this is. Charlotte in Japan. Don't know who this person is. She loves New York, though. Apparently, it's quite a good photo. We've got Julian, who's a legendary cameraman. He helped with the Ken Watanabe shoot. We've got a full-on dickhead, and finally, we've got my good friend Dan, who was sort of my mentor figure, who I worked with in the school when I first came to Japan. He features quite prominently in the book. So take a good look at Dan. There he is there. He looks like Bane, but without the face mask. I don't know if he'll like me saying that. He's going to kill me. But, yeah, there you go. There's the photos. And I did have a good friend, Jackie, Nerdy Crafter, come to the studio just yesterday. But unfortunately, the Polaroid camera had run out of Polaroids, so no more photos and no more fun for anyone. Chris... sad to see you're off Tinder because you're with Charla, says Jason. Thank you, Jason. But I'm happy, regardless. I guess Wacky Weekend Love Hotel is off the table. I think Wacky Weekend Love Hotel is off the table because we've done Wacky Weekend fucking Love Hotels to death. Like, how many Love Hotels have we gone to now? By my count, it must be about 20 across 5 different videos. So, no more Love Hotels ever again. Chris. Oh, God. Drinking out of a wooden cup just makes everything taste better. Chris, hello from Canberra, Australia. Hopefully we get to see you down under one day, as much as I know you're resisting coming here. Love your work, all the best. Zoddy, cool name. I would love to go to Australia, although I saw just yesterday that there's a spider that can swim in the water and kills you with one bite. Fuck that, I'm not going to Australia. Never. No, not a chance in hell. Chris, I'll be moving to Suginami-ku this summer. Once you're in a similar boat, I was wondering what is something I should shortly after I get there, other than registration. I don't know what that question is, but I'm guessing you're asking what to do when you move to Suginami/Tokyo. I mean, when I move to Tokyo, the first thing I'm going to do is have a look around and try and find the best izakaya, the best pub, and find like a local pub and try and befriend the owner and get on a first name basis. That's what I'm going to do. I know I've painted my sort of impending move to Tokyo quite negatively, but I am excited. I know it's going to be a whole different thing, a whole different change, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun as a video creator, YouTuber guy. Filming in Tokyo, because there's just so much to see and do. So it's going to be fun just grabbing the camera and going out spontaneously and filming somewhere new. But yeah, really looking forward to having a change of pace. I must admit, I've been having a, what do you call it, existential crisis recently. Right now people are like, oh God, Chris has drunk too much. He's talking, he's giving too much opinions. Don't worry, dear viewer. I'm not that drunk. Only a little bit drunk. What did Tippsy Sake think was going to happen? The CEO of Tippsy Sake, really nice guy called Genki, is watching right now, and he's probably like, oh God, why did we let this monstrous drunken British man endorse our brand live on a show with 3 bottles and get very drunk? And I'm not drunk, don't worry, Genki, I'm having fun. I'm Genki, dare I say. I'm really looking forward to moving to Tokyo. In a way, but I have had like an existential crisis of sorts. I've been doing the same thing for 10 years now, and I'm a little bit kind of like I'm sort of doing the same thing over and over, right? I'm starting to retread old topics. I feel like I'm not pushing myself. I won't lie, it's all been downhill since I met Ken Watanabe. Ken Watanabe is brilliant and lovely and great, but it kind of felt like the peak. Some people said I'd completed Japan, and I don't disagree with that assumption or assertion. I did feel like I'd completed Japan to some extent and done the one thing I always set out to do, even if it was sort of a joke that got out of hand. But that's not the case. I realise that I need to sort of push myself harder and do more sort of cinematic projects and do more bold projects. I really get excited by doing fiction stuff or sketches and skits. For example, you might recall at the opening of the last Journey Across Japan, Okinawa, there was a scene where Natsuki battled the Yakuza, and it sort of got quite violent. I love filming that. That was so much fun. The guy, I don't know if I have it on file here. What would it be called? It would be called like Yacht, the video. Yacht. Let's see if it's on the laptop somewhere. Yacht. I rented a yacht for a day. Yes, this is it. Oh, let's not crash OBS. Right, there was a sketch in this video that I'm sure some of you guys will remember. Hopefully you're not deaf right now. I'll turn it down. This bit, right? This was so much fun to do. I'm going to play it to you now while I have a munch of my food. Of course he is. For reference.
Natsuki, 来いよ。
すいません。
どう？金100万持ってきたんだろうな。
いや、今あるだけなんですけど、なんていうか、これが今の全財産です。
足りんなお前こら。いつまで用意してんだお前。
来週必ずお持ちします。
どうなってか分かんだろうなお前。
まず来週まで。
来週までお前持ってこなかったらお前どうなるかやってんだから
すいません、お願いします。
海沈めんぞこら。
いや、儀式的にやめてください。お願いします。
ちゃんと持ってこいよこら。
はい。終わった俺は。もうダメだ。こっから出るしかねえな。Oh, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Tippsy, how you doing?
Very no nice.
Oh man, do you want to go on a holiday?
Maybe I want a holiday.
Yeah? Do you want to go on journey across Japan, Okinawa,
What? Really? When?
next Tuesday?
Nice. Nice idea. Good timing. Let's go Okinawa.
So I think I had more fun filming that than the last 50 videos combined. That scene was actually oh god, let's make that stop. That was actually impromptu filmed in the space of 1 hour at my friend Esau's bar. The guy who beat Natsuki up, which was very cathartic and a long time coming. He's a guy called Esau, and he runs a Wagyu restaurant that I really want to do a documentary on, actually. Such a nice guy. But very scary and intimidating, as you can see. I had so much fun filming that, more fun than anything. And I love doing stuff like that. Like I've done like documentaries and stuff, and I've you know, just doing the same stuff over and over. I want to do more things like that, and I'd love to do more stuff with Natsuki, and yeah. But this year it's Natsuki's 50th birthday, right? In August, and I'd love to do something to celebrate that, like a sequel to Natsuki the movie. God knows how that would go down, but I'm trying to combine it with the book release. So the book, the Abroad in Japan book, is coming out in August, and if it sells well, which hopefully it will, please buy it. I'll get to do a global tour, like around the world. Think about that. I'll get to be in New York and Canberra, eating spiders, and I'll get to go to wherever. I'll get to go to Paris and Luxembourg and Switzerland, and I'll get to sign things, and the camera will break, and then it'll be great. And so please buy the book, because then I'll get to travel the world and sign books. And I'd love to sort of build Natsuki the movie around that as well. So combine the book tour with like a tour with Natsuki, doing some stuff. To celebrate his 50th birthday. So yeah, I really love to sink my teeth into something with Natsuki, to be honest. Everyone in the comments is saying, what the fuck, he's 50? I know, right? He looks more like 40. When I met him, I think he was 38 or 39. No, he's 39 years old. So I would love to do something with him. Chris, you should go to Florida or Greece. Yes, I'd love to go to Florida and Greece. Yeah. Fuck yeah, let's go. I'd love to do a book tour, though. If the book sells well, yes, I could be in every country in Europe signing books for a day, and I could bring Natsuki along. We could film Natsuki the movie and make the whole thing tax deductible, dare I say, which would be lovely. But also, yeah, I want to travel the world and do cool stuff and meet you guys. Like, one of the cool things from last year, whether it was doing the event in LA or whether it was doing the Halloween party or the event in London, was getting to meet the viewers of Abroad in Japan. And I'd love to do that more, and I'd love to bring Natsuki along for the ride. So, yeah, I'm really excited about this year. I want to do a massive change in direction of content after sort of April and May. We've got the 3 big projects out the way already: Journey Across Japan, the 9-day cycle, and running a bar in Kyoto for a week, which is coming out very soon as well. So with the big 3 projects out the way, I can sink my teeth into something a lot more dramatic and exciting, like a sequel to Natsuki the movie, or like a documentary. So, yeah, really excited about this year and what's going to bring. And also I'm going to carry on the fitness journey as well. Chris, congratulations, says Caitlin, on the engagement, the cyclothon, and the move. I'm so excited for the book coming out. I was wondering if you'd ever write fiction. Well, if I do write fiction, Caitlin, it probably wouldn't be a book. It would probably be a screenplay. And I actually am working on something right now, kind of a short film that I'm very excited about, actually. It's not Natsuki getting beaten up at a bar, although that would be pretty entertaining, as we just saw. But I'm working on something. So yeah, I think this year is going to be a good one, though. I really do. And the fact that the cyclothon's out the way and went really well, and Journey Across Japan's out the way, it bodes well for the rest of this year, I think. Chris, I'm sorry you're going through an existential crisis. Do you know that I see you the way you see Ken Watanabe? And when I become a proper content creator, I hope to meet you the way you met Ken. Well, thank you very much, Alishka. I suspect I'm not as interesting as the great Ken Watanabe. Meeting Ken Watanabe, I still can't believe that was a thing. How the hell did that happen? I'll never forget sitting there at his restaurant about 11 a.m, waiting for him to turn up and seeing this little fucking tiny car that he'd rented, this really crappy tiny Toyota car, just turn up in the car park, right? And it's funny, like, I did the documentary with Hyde, the rock star, right, a few years ago, and he comes in with this big van with a whole entourage and like a whole team, and then you've got Ken Watanabe, the humble actor, Japan's most successful actor by all accounts, just turning up in like a fucking tiny Toyota car. And it was just like, oh, it's Ken. And he comes in, sits down, and he's like, oh, do you want some pizza? And I was like, yeah, sure, Ken, why not? Let's have some pizza. It was really, really surreal. And I can assure you, Alishka, if you meet me, it'll be just as ridiculous as that. Probably worse than that. I'll turn up in a Toyota Prius and just eat some pizza. Chris, your new Tokyo studio will be the hangout site for English-speaking media celebs visiting Tokyo. Yeah, you know what, Ryori? That's one of the reasons I do want to move to Tokyo as well. Like, take a look around, guys. We have got this amazing studio, right? I'm so proud of this studio and everything we've got going on here. And there's one problem. And the problem is, nobody fucking comes here because it's not in Tokyo. Tom Scott, Ludwig, your mother, whoever comes to Japan, they don't get to see it because it's in Sendai. And people don't have time to come to Sendai. So when we move it to Tokyo and we relocate it, it's going to be good because people can actually see it and get to experience it. So I'm excited about that. And I think we'll actually use it more as a result of being in Tokyo. Like, I want to do a lot more stuff in the studio. Like, there's so much scope for doing things here. But because it's just me and Charlotte and Ryotaro, if we see him, in Sendai, we don't really get to do that much here, right? So, yeah, I'm excited to move to Tokyo in that regard because I think we're going to see a lot of cool things happening with the studio. And I think I'm not even in focus. Oh dear. Look at this. Let's go for cinematic focus. Oh, so cinematic. So overblown. Shit. There you go. There's a nice bokeh effect. Beloved by all. Nice bokeh look. Alright. We've got a message here. Luckily, nothing bad. Alright. Chris, I'd love to see Natsuki in New York. That'd be a lot of fun. It would, wouldn't it? Trash in New York, destroy New York. I'd like to see a samurai mini-film set in August when the foliage colours are at their peak. Hello from Quebec. I mean, it would be cool. I don't know. The closest thing we have to a samurai film would be the beach fight from Journey Across Japan of Natsuki and Ryotaro on the beach, which I forgot happened. That was a lot of fun. Other than that, no. Although, actually, in the town of Yonezawa, which is about 2 hours from here, they do have a festival every year where the townsfolk dress up as samurai and have a battle, and have a fight. And I really should go and film that, because I haven't, and it sounds pretty damn cool. Chris, why don't you advertise your podcast? Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm not very good at marketing things, as we've established over the years, guys. We do have a podcast. We have 150,000 listeners a week, so thank you if you're one of them that tunes in. And you can find it on iTunes, Google, Acast, Spotify, whatever you use, really. It's on there. Dear Chris, thank you, God, for your bad time. It will enable too long for greater stuff. You have such a potential. Thank you very much. That sentence nearly broke me, but thank you. Yeah, I will. Yes, that sentence broke me. Chris, what's this? Please tell me the fate of Wacky Weekend with you moving. I don't know if I could handle my weekend not being wacky anymore. Well, I think most Wacky Weekends are shot throughout Japan, right? Everywhere. And I don't think we're going to see a change in that. The last Wacky Weekend, of course, was in Miyazaki, which we just cycled through. Fuck knows where the next Wacky Weekend will be. Probably a while before the next Wacky Weekend. I'm all Wacky Weekend out after the 900-kilometre cycle, as you can imagine. I wonder, was this a good idea, drinking all the sake on the live show? This is dangerous. We're in dangerous territory now, I'm not going to lie. The sake's hitting me pretty hard. Not as hard as the time I did the live show at the gin distillery, and it became the biggest train wreck in live YouTube history. But I am quite drunk, so let's hope the truth serum... I find, alcohol unleashes what you really think. It's time for some real opinions on J.K. Rowling. No, don't worry. But yeah, I'm feeling like the sake is sort of hitting me a lot harder than I'd like. I should probably eat some food. Let's do that now. Chris, while I ate this skewer, look, it's a trailer for Journey Across Japan. Let's watch it together. Somebody says, Chris, I remember the train wreck that was your gin distillery live show. God, that was awkward. I mean, I did this live show in Kyoto, at the Kyoto distillery, for the most amazing gin I've ever had, Kinobi gin, amazing gin, from Kyoto, amazing. It's just such an amazing team down there. And I did a live show, which you can go and watch now, although it's heavily edited and redacted. On this live show, I got more drunk than I've been in about 2 or 3 years, because they gave me a lot of gin. So I don't know. What did they think was going to happen? But not only that, we did the live show twice. The first live show, we had a technical error 2 drinks in, and we had to reset and reboot the whole live show. So by the time the second show started, I was already pretty fucked, because the gin had hit me like a truck. And it was just, it was really bad. There's a really, the guy that runs it, Dave, fantastic guy, really nice guy. And there's a bit where before the live show, or during the live show, he talked about how the water they use in the gin comes from a well that they have on site, the distillery. There's a well, which is pretty fucking cool, right? A well? Yeah, why not? And they get the water from the well. and whatnot. And in the live show, I'm interviewing Dave, and we're talking about the distillery and the gin, how it's made. And I'm really drunk, really quite drunk, like 5 times more drunk than I am now. And I'm like, yeah. All the other gin in Japan's rubbish. You're the best. And he's sort of sitting there awkwardly, trying not to defame any other gin company, like a good CEO would. And then I'm like, what are you going to do then to improve your gin? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he's like, well, our trained team are constantly finding new ways to improve our gin. And sort of enhance the citrus undertones, and I just went, yeah. You're gonna find another well. You're gonna find a fucking well, another well, are you? A well? And he's just sitting there like, oh crap! Why don't we invite Chris down to do this live show? And I'm like, yeah. You're gonna find a well, mate. A well. God, it's awful. It's so bad. Unprofessional, yes. But what do you expect when you get a guy drunk on gin and do a live show? And then I stood up and I'm sort of wandering around, trying not to smash the pottery. Oh my God, it was awful. Truly awful. Luckily, I'm not that drunk now. I trashed the set, as you guys might have seen, before I'd even had my first cup of sake. I broke the light, I fucked the yakitori and dropped it all over the floor. It's on the floor there. It's on the floor there. There's yakitori everywhere. It's a wrap. Dear oh dear. But yeah, that was a good live show. And I had to, luckily on YouTube there's an editing tool where you can go in and edit the live show. And I had to edit out about 40 minutes of the 3-hour live show. I had to cut 40 minutes. So you can watch that. It's on this channel. Watch it afterwards. It's called Kyoto something, my favourite bar in Kyoto. But good God, you can witness the mayhem. Chris, you're drunk again. I'm not drunk now, don't worry. I'm a little bit drunk, but not gin distillery drunk. Chris, I'm off to Japan in April. Tips on what to wear and expect weather-wise. Thanks for the entertainment and distractions from life, says Jake. Jake Lambourne. Well, Jake, weather in April, it's quite warm, actually. Certainly if you're in Tokyo or Kyoto, it's pretty warm, so maybe bring some shorts. I think it's jeans weather, but bring some shorts, you never know. Luckily, Japan in sort of March, April, it's perfect in the same way it is in sort of October, November, before it all goes to shit. It gets very cold. So, yeah, April, really nice time to visit. Though very touristy and very busy because of Sakura season. Chris, I discovered your channel 5 years ago looking for Japan videos. This channel's truly been a gift, and it's been great to see its success over the years. Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much, John. I'm grateful to know that this channel's a gift. It's very kind of you. Thank you for sticking around 5 years, man. It's pretty fucking cool. And thank you to so many of you who've stuck around this decade. I can't believe I've been doing this for 10 years. Where has the time gone? Before I know it, I'll be 40 and I'll be depressed. But thank you, John. Thank you very much for triggering an existential crisis. Chris, recommend me the best sake known to man, says Desiree Eagle. Well, I don't know the best sake known to man, but what I do know is out of the 3, this has been my favourite. It's kind of fruity. It's got undertones of strawberry. Ooh, strawberry. Nizawa Sake Brewery. Maybe I'm biased because it's from Osaki, a city about 40 minutes north of where I'm sat right now. But it's actually very nice, very easy to drink, very dangerously easy to drink, as we've discovered in the last hour or so. The distillery is Nizawa, and it's called Atago no Matsu. You're not going to be able to remember that, so here's what it looks like on the back of it. There you go. There we go. Atago no Matsu. Honjozo sake. An elegant sake with an appealing creaminess and notes of strawberry. Yeah, really nice stuff. Ask for that one. But guys, do check out Tippsy Sake in the description box below. Use the code Chris2023. Get that nice discount. And enjoy the sake as I am now. Drink in moderation. It's nice to have a company like Tippsy Sake actually curate some the best kind of bottles of sake and the best breweries. So can't recommend them enough. And it comes with a fantastic booklet showing you how the sake is made, like this one here. Love a good booklet. There's loads of box companies these days doing different things like snacks and sweets. Tipsy are the one for sake. They've got a map there showing you where the sake comes from. I am right here, right now, about here. Yeah, and the sake I'm drinking is from here and here. Ooh. There's a nice sake profile there. It teaches you all about sake. I think that's what's cool though, right? It's all well and good getting a box of 3 bottles of sake, but learning about the process, learning about the story is half the fun. And yeah, really cool bottles of sake. Definitely check it out. Tippsy Sake in the description box below. Chris 2023. Get that discount. Enjoy it. Chris, what is... I struggle a lot narrating my own videos. I feel like I have to be in the right mood, the right energy, and I never finish it. Do you have any tips? Quite often I'll get into a video and then I'll get bored and I won't do it and I'll give up. You've got to really be passionate about the subject that you're making and really be into it. I'd recommend scripting it. I do script a lot of my videos still. I have a rough outline of what I'm saying. The hardest thing, or what I don't recommend doing, is just sitting in front of a camera and being like, hey guys, I'm in Japan and I want a sandwich and blah, blah, blah. Like, don't do that. Like, script it, plan it, think of it in advance, right? Time is of the essence. And you've got to keep people engaged with audience retention. So I do, where possible, script my videos, and I highly recommend that, especially if you're new to YouTube. Otherwise, you might sort of go all over the place and just chat shit. So don't do that. Best of luck to you, though. Have fun with it. And just make sure you enjoy your topic. As I found out with the documentary Cat Nation, it doesn't work well when you're not very invested in the topic. That will show in the video and in your presenting. Chris, I just want to say a massive thank you. I'm in Japan right now and your videos made planning the trip easy, so I'm sending appreciation your way. Thank you very much, Justin. It's very kind of you. Somebody said the other day, is there a map of abroad Japan videos? I do actually have a website that I, again, as you know, I am shit at marketing my own stuff, whether it's merchandise, Patreon, podcasts, but check this out. We do have a website, and on the website, as well as fun things like the Abroad in Japan soundboard, where you can hear comments from Natsuki like, what have we got here? Classic. Or Natsuki's breakfast.
My breakfast: coffee, cigarette, and 2 cigarettes. Easy.
Coffee, cigarettes, and 2 cigarettes. The perfect breakfast. Or Natsuki as a golden diamond.
Golden diamond. I'm a golden diamond.
Or we got Ryotaro.
I never felt cloud.
What the fuck is that?
I never felt cloud.
Oh, that was the video where we climbed a mountain and we walked through some clouds. And Ryotaro said,
I never felt cloud.
he never felt cloud. There's one here called Stupid Laugh.
We know what's going to happen.
Oh my god. Now it's on sport mode. This is when he drove a car and realised it had sport mode.
Now it's a spot.
God, his wife must love him. And then it's Pete Dawson. I love the photo of him there. What a great photo. Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Can't wait to get Pete back here. Can't wait to get him back. What's this one? Terrifying laugh. That's pretty fucking terrifying.
Marmaduke.
What the fuck?
But he had a son that was an envelope.
The thing about Pete Dawson is, I don't know where this stuff comes from. What is this?
Akibara! Shinagawa! Shibuya! Shibuya!
This is when Pete Donaldson decided he wanted to be a train driving man and do the voice at the train stations for Shibuya, Shinagawa, and Akihabara.
Shibuya! Shinagawa! Akibara! Want to go to bed now?
Anyway, the main reason I brought you to the website is there is a map And here it is, guide map. And on the map you can see every single video that we have done on Abroad in Japan ever. There you go. So what happened here? There's the shit hotel room with Connor. There's a friend I made. There's a learning. There's a Kagoshima. There's a love hotel. Like, it's cool. Like, you can see every single place, every single part of Japan. Oh, you can turn the map as well. That's exciting. But yeah, Jesus, we've been to a lot of Japan. There's still some places we haven't seen. This side of the map, Okinawa, is going to get lots of new things soon, thanks to Journey Across Japan Series 5. And I want to go to Wakayama down here this year, because we haven't really been to Nara and Wakayama, apart from the most expensive beef. Check out the map, because you can see where every single video is set and get some ideas for your trip. So there you go. There's me marketing something for once from Abroad in Japan, because I suck at it. abroadinjapan.com, easy to remember. There you go. Sponsored by me. Chris. Let's have a little bit more. Let's have a little bit of this. Let's have a little bit of this one. What about Okinawa, Chris? Okinawa's on there, isn't it? Okinawa. Let's see. Oh, yep, there you go. And what you can see is an island. You can see Okinawa 1 and 2. But we need to put this video here, is technically set down here on these islands. So somebody needs to be shouted at. And it's going to be Ian, unfortunately, because he runs the website. Chris. Natsuki's 50, right? And he has a wife. Yes, he does. Does he have kids? Are there little Natskis running around causing chaos around Japan? Natsuki does not have kids. I don't think he ever wanted kids, I don't know why. I think he just didn't really want kids, which is fair enough. I can relate to that. I don't want kids as well. I've got nothing against kids. I'm sure they're great. There was a video recently where Charlotte and I did a Q&A on her channel, and she said something like, "Oh, I don't want children there." And I said the same, that we don't want kids. And there were some comments saying shit like, "Oh my God, the one thing you were put on Earth for was to repopulate the Earth." Blah, 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 blah. No, I disagree with that. I don't want kids really, and so I can understand with Natsuki on that. Got nothing against people that want kids. I think that's good, but just not for me, and apparently not for Charlotte either. Chris, recommend. Oh wait, me and my 12-year-old daughter. It's awkward just talking about kids, and I've got a 12-year-old daughter. Me and my 12-year-old daughter are visiting in July, and she wants to go to Junie Moon in Tokyo, a shop for dolls. Are you aware of the horror? Says Peregrine Walther's Ploy. I'm not aware of it, mate. No, I don't know it. That sounds kind of odd. Junie Moon. No, I've never heard of it. Have a great time. Regardless, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Chris, as a long-time viewer, I'm wondering if November is a good time to visit. Yes, it's a very good time to visit. Probably the second best month to visit after October, I'd say. Chris, African population booming. Brilliant. I think some people really want kids, some people don't. I always knew from a young age that it wasn't really my cup of tea. I got this thing where I'm quite an anxious person for whatever reason. And the idea of having kids, I know it would then elevate my anxiety to spectacular heights and probably finish me off in record time. As a result, I don't think I'd be a good dad or whatever. So it's not that I hate kids, I just feel like I'm quite a selfish person. And if I had kids, I'd be like, "You ruined my dreams, I wanted to do blah, 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 but I have to look after you." And so that's a factor. And I think, it's interesting, I've spoken to a lot of my friends that have kids who are in their sort of 30s or 40s, and they all say the same thing, that it's quite good sometimes, but if you don't think you want kids, for the love of God, don't do it. You can see a sense of regret in their eyes that's quite alarming. If you don't think you want kids, don't do it, and that's a good thing to go by. But I'd rather be like the cool Uncle Chris who turns up, buys everyone ice cream, hands out some bottles of sake, and is like, yeah, I'm the cool Uncle Chris, and now I'm going to go home and do things and play computer games. That's what I want to be, Uncle Chris. Godfather Chris, who doesn't have to do much, doesn't have to put much effort in, except maybe like 3 days out of the year. I'll do that. Chris, I'd love to go to Miho. My grandfather was there in the 40s. I know it will have changed a lot from his photos. Do you know much about the area as it is now? Says Jaffas. I don't know where that is. Where the dickens is Miho? Let's find out using the power of Google. Miho, Japan. Miho. Sounds pretty bad. It is. It's in Chiba. Or no, sorry, it's Ibaraki. Oh, yeah, looks alright. Let's see what goes on in Miho. Yeah. Oh, looks alright. There's a field. Yeah, must be good. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It looks nice. Easy accessibility to Tokyo, so that's going for it. And Ibaraki's nice. Chris, look like your training is paying off with the charity stream, and you look great. Would you try doing the Spartan race again? Says Southeast Asian boy. Yes, I'm planning on doing a Spartan race in May. There's another one. I think it's in Chiba, actually, near Miho, that we just saw. But yeah, no, looking to do a Spartan race again. It was so much fun last year. I failed, I think, 3 of the obstacles, the monkey bar ones and the javelin. And I'd like to nail that. So yeah, totally down for it. I'm trying to convince a few friends like Pete Premier 2 and Connor to take part. Whether they will, God knows, but I'm going to do it. Chris, the sake you recommended sold out. Jesus Christ, that was fast. Oh no, sorry to hear that. There'll be more soon. Yeah. Chris, do you have any plans on making videos in countries outside of Japan, like Korea? If I was going to go to any country this year near Japan, it would probably be Taiwan. I love Taiwan, fantastic country, wonderful people, fantastic food. Taipei, incredible city, and I think it would be a lot of fun trying to get like a cinematic shots there and trying to tell a story. Yeah, would love to do Taiwan. South Korea was amazing though. The barbecues were legendary. And the last time I was there in 2018 was a lot of fun. So yeah, would love to go to South Korea and Taiwan. And I'd consider making videos there for sure. Even though I'm abroad in Japan. Don't do that. Don't limit yourself to one country. That's a spectacular marketing error. Yeah, no, I'd love to do something there. I would. Chris, what's the best app to learn Japanese for an absolute beginner? The best app to learn Japanese is this one. And it's the one I recommend to everyone who's coming to Japan, not just to live here, but to actually travel. Where is it? This one. Here it is. No, it's not. There we go. Human Japanese. It's a wonderful app that looks like this. It's almost like a friend sort of sitting down with you, teaching you Japanese. Honestly, if I was going to get one company to sponsor me, it'd be Human Japanese. This app saved my life when I moved to Japan. It's kind of like learning a language is really daunting, right? Especially one as complicated and as sort of alien as Japanese is. And Human Japanese really did save my life in those early days, and I recommend it to everyone. It is paid for. There is a free version to test the waters, but yeah, I recommend it to everyone. My staff, my editors, I did recommend it to them. Somebody says, Chris, Duolingo. What about Duolingo? Yeah, Duolingo sugoi. What I'll say about Duolingo is it's like fun. It's kind of like a video game, but you don't really learn much practical, useful Japanese. And yeah, Duolingo's cool, but you're not going to sit down, do Duolingo for 3 hours and then be able to have a conversation or speak anything. With Human Japanese, if you've got a 10-hour flight, as I did the first time I came to Japan, you can learn a lot. To the point that you could like order stuff in a restaurant or speak to a shop clerk. You could do all that from a 10-hour flight using Human Japanese. So yeah, can't recommend it enough. Human Japanese, fantastic app, and if anybody from Human Japanese is watching, let's sponsor Abroad in Japan, because I've shouted you out 500 times. Although you are very good, and I love you. Thank you. Chris. Congratulations on your engagement. I'll be going to Kagoshima this summer. Any recommendation on things to do? Also, I'd love to produce your next Apple Music chart topper. Thank you very much, Rugrat. The thing to do in Kagoshima, fly over it in a Cessna. Fly over Sakurajima Volcano. I think I'm still traumatised from the last time I flew over Sakurajima in that bloody Cessna. But good God, it was a lot of fun. And I've not done anything that epic since then, so yeah, do that. Chris, greetings from Sasebo, Japan. Looking forward to your new content in Tokyo in the new studio. Congratulations on the engagement, says Nikolai. I'm moving to Yokosuka soon. I hope I run into you in Tokyo someday. Thank you very much, Nikolai. When I was in Sasebo during the cycle, we ran into some American service folks. I remember running into an American service guy at the front of a 7-Eleven, and we were cycling over a bridge after 7-Eleven. And it was called like like a Japanese bridge, nice bridge. And he was like, "Are you going over the suicide bridge?" And I was like, "The suicide bridge? What's that?" And he was like, "Yeah, the suicide bridge, man. People throw themselves off it." And I was like, "Wow." But anyway, it was a nice bridge. Suicide aside, it was a lovely bridge. And it's a shame that happens on the bridge. But yeah, Sasebo, cool place. And love a bit of Kyushu. Chris, I need to open a chain of random stores with the same naming scheme: human food, human clothes, says Ebony Gammon. Yes. Chris, have you ever played Shenmue for the Dreamcast or visited Yokosuka, which is where the game takes place? I have not. I remember the Dreamcast fondly. I never had one, but my cousin did. It felt very ahead of its time. It's a shame it bombed and killed Sega's kind of future in the hardware market. Chris, I've been watching you since the days of your tiny apartment and your notebook full of kanji. Please keep up the good work. You make me look old, says Gorath. You make me feel old, Gorath, by bringing up the fact that it's been 10 years since I started this, 11 years this year. But thank you for sticking around all this time, man. Thank you very much. It means a lot. And yeah, I remember those days sitting there writing in the old kanji notebook. I haven't done that in a long time. It was quite therapeutic. I used to wake up about 7 a.m. and from 7 till about 7:45 I'd sit there, write out the kanji characters. 7:45 I'd hop in the car, then I'd drive to 7-Eleven. I'd get an iced coffee and a pizza bread, like a pizza man, which is like a kind of bread with some pizza in it, cheese and tomato. It's very nice. And then I'd drive 5 minutes to school and get there just in time for the staff meeting. That was my life for 2 years. Yeah, I miss that. I really should write down kanji more. The thing with kanji characters, if you stop writing them, you forget them really easily. Chris, have any Western travel shows ever approached you to work as a producer? Would you have any interest in being part of a production outside your own? Yeah, I've done so. I did stuff for the Travel Channel, actually, years ago. I did a documentary for the Travel Channel about Cat Island, of all places, Tashirojima. And I think that's it. I suspect some of the people that produced the James May documentary, James May of Top Gear fame, watched Abroad in Japan because they passed through Yamagata and went to somewhere that I featured in a video prominently, and I don't feel like they would normally find that. So I think a lot of people have used Abroad in Japan to help with ideas for videos over the years, like producers. And actually, there was a show, who was it? A British comedian, Russell Howard. Yes, a TV show, a British TV production show, reached out to me once to see if I would show Russell Howard around Japan with his dad. Remember back in the days when all the British comedians did a show with their dad travelling around. He was one of them. And but they decided not to use me. They went for a Japanese person, which makes more sense, to be fair. And I don't think Russell Howard's that funny anyway, so that was a lucky escape. He's about as funny as falling down the fucking stairs, so a lucky escape on my part. No offence to Russell Howard, even though his TV shows are shit. Chris, love your video, but I'm wondering if you'll visit Singapore. I'd love to visit Singapore. I really would. And stay at the hotel with the infinity pool that everyone goes to. And eat all the food. Chris. I saw your sister doing a vlog of her own travels in Japan. Are you turning her into a YouTuber? I'm not turning her into a YouTuber, Greg. My sister's currently travelling around Japan with her husband, and they are in a camper van, exploring the country, having a wild time, and I'm sure I'm going to catch up with them at some point. They did do a video with Charla, which you can check out on Charla's channel, and their channel, which is called Always Away, because they're always away in a fucking camper van, apparently. I'm glad they're having fun. They've had some wild adventures, which we read out on the podcast. Chris, 2 things. Number 1, Taiwan is great. And number 2, have you tried stinky tofu? Also, have you seen the Trash Taste LA live show and all the love Mr. Affable got on there? I haven't. I want to know about all this. I want to palpate my ego and discover what happened in the LA Trash Taste live show now. Hopefully it was good. Stinky tofu is disgusting, and I can't recommend it to anyone. I'm sure you like it though. Fake sauce. Chris, is there something you've not done in Japan yet in these 10 years but absolutely want to do? Many thanks for making videos. It makes me and my friends smile every day. Amplified my love for Japan. Well, thank you very much, Ian. It's very kind of you. There's still a few things I haven't done in Japan. Mainly make a film, make a feature-length film or a short film, because I've made a lot of videos and I've made some documentaries, but I haven't tucked into a feature film yet. So yes, that's something I'd like to do. Congratulations on the cyclothon and engagement, Chris. I was impressed with your recent trailer announcing Connor's move to Twitch. Never stop with what you're doing. Thanks for cheering me up and countless others. Yes, for those of you who didn't see it, Connor did a trailer announcing he was staying on Twitch. I think a lot of Twitch streamers, when they moved to YouTube, they did like a video announcing that they were moving, and Connor wanted to do one announcing he was staying on Twitch. Very odd. I obliged. I filmed it for him and edited it, and it was alright. The story doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's quite confusing, but it was a lot of fun to film it in the day that we had, and yeah, love filming fiction stuff. Chris, I'll be visiting Hokkaido with my family in July. Any recommendations for restaurants or secret spots? Looking forward to your next video. I would say visit East Hokkaido, which I'd never done up until this year. And the Journey Across Japan will be coming out in the next few weeks, set in East Hokkaido, where we had the train and the ice-breaking ship and dog sleds and all sorts. We travelled in a lot of different ways on that trip. But everyone goes to the same sort of places in Hokkaido, to Noboribetsu and to Hakodate and Sapporo. Maybe head eastwards and see what you can find there. But check out the series coming out soon. Chris, why are you so stupid? Chris, would you rather be a father or a son of Pete Premier 2, says Bartek. What a great question. I would rather be Pete's father than Pete's son. Basically because I feel like I'm a older brother / father figure to Pete already. Even though he's older than me by like 20 years or something. I'm basically Pete's uncle. So yeah, I think I'll be his dad. Or his dad as opposed to his son. God, what a question. Fuck me. Chris, why don't you try and make new films like creative stuff rather than documentaries? Good question. I'll think about it. Yeah, honestly though, guys, I think it's time to wrap up. What a lot of fun it's been. What a lot of sake I've had. Good God. Chris, have you entered your midlife crisis yet? Yeah, I think I've had it. I think I'm working on it now, especially after drinking all the sake. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, though, guys. I'm going to go home and fall asleep. It's been fun catching up with you, talking about what's ahead. As I said, we've got Journey Across Japan to look forward to. We've got the Kyoto bar video, long awaited, coming out soon. And beyond that, we're going to be moving into documentary territory. And there'll be a live show next month revealing more there, what we've got lined up. But for now, thank you to Tippsy Sake for being a part of this video. Do check them out in the description box below. Amazing sake, some of the best I've ever had, ever, in 10 years living in Japan. Thank you for curating this amazing sake, Tippsy. Yes, you can check them out in the description box below. Use Chris 2020. I'm used to my own name. Use Chris 2023 for a 10% discount. amazing company. Best thing I've had in a box in a while. There's a missed opportunity there to do a "What's in the box" moment referencing Seven. But one last question from Siege Art. What's your overall favourite place you've been to in Japan, Chris? That's a difficult question. My overall favourite place in Japan is... drum roll. I don't know. No, my favourite place is Yamagata. It sounds like I'm biased because I live there, but actually the scenery is amazing, the people are great, the food's wonderful, and there's a sense of mystery and intrigue that is lacked in sort of the regular tourist places like Tokyo and Kyoto. So yes, Yamagata Prefecture, and also Natsuki Salon's there. If that's not a good reason to go, I don't know what is. Guys, have yourself a fantastic weekend. Keep an eye out for the book. The book is going to be announced this week, I think. I'm going to go to town and promote the book. And keep an eye out for Journey Across Japan. I am glad I have survived this live show intact, despite all the sake I've had, without smashing up the set entirely. There's food all over the floor. I think the light's broken, but for the most part, the set is intact. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Have a wonderful Saturday, a wonderful Sunday, and keep an eye out next week for a video about 12 dishes to try in Japan for under $10. It's a budget travel tips video. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And now that so many of you guys are coming to Japan, I think it'll be really handy as well. It was a nightmare to film. I had to eat we shot it in 2 days, 6 restaurants per day. Good God, I ate a lot of food. Never again. It was like a mukbang fuck-up nightmare. But it's going to be a good video. But for now, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you soon. Do it right back here on the Abroad in Japan channel. But for now, drink in moderation. Thank you, Tippsy Sake. Absolute legends. Check them out. I'm off to bed. Much needed. Bye, guys. Have yourself a great weekend. See you soon. Ta-ta. Bye.